Streaming with us, incredibly graphic testimony today in the Sean Diddy Combs trial. And we have to warn you, some of what you hear may be disturbing.
That was a really painful time. I'm sorry.
Bill got bitten, down that road. Now, Speedy don't have to go down that one, right? So.
TD Jakes was hanging out at a rapper and twerking party. What? That Puff Daddy held. He's sitting right there. Oh, TD Snakes.
Amen.
They there twerking and everything. TD Snakes right there.
My Lord, my Lord.
The Diddy trial has transcended the boundaries of a typical Hollywood scandal. This is no longer just gossip or tabloid fodder, it's morphed into a full-blown media spectacle, resembling a crime drama series that you devour with popcorn in hand. What began as Cassie courageously stepping forward to share her painful truth has snowballed into something far larger and more complex than anyone could have anticipated. It's no longer about one celebrity or one alleged victim. The narrative has expanded exponentially, pulling in high-profile names, delivering explosive courtroom moments, and unearthing jaw-dropping allegations that continue to leave the public in shock.
Played an audio recording for the jury of a hotel night with a male prostitute Jane identified as Dawn.
What initially seemed like a straightforward case involving Cassie and the disturbing allegations she made against Sean Diddy Combs, claims of control, secret parties, and alleged abuse behind closed doors, has spiraled into something far darker and more complex. What started as one woman's story has now taken on a life of its own, morphing into a narrative so shocking that it feels ripped from the pages of a crime thriller. Courtroom whispers suggest things have escalated to dangerous levels. Audio recordings played during the trial have added an eerie layer to the proceedings. These aren't just casual phone calls, they're explicit, chilling recordings so graphic that when played in court, the entire room reportedly fell silent. The atmosphere is tense, phones and cameras are banned, leaving only the sound of those tapes echoing through the sealed-off courtroom. Then came the witnesses. Not fame chasers or internet trolls, but real people who worked with Diddy, attended his infamous parties, and lived inside his world. One such witness was Dawn Richard, former member of the girl group Donity Kane. Taking the stand, she looked visibly drained, her exhaustion palpable. But what she revealed changed everything. Dawn corroborated Cassie's account, recounting a harrowing incident where she allegedly witnessed Diddy physically assault Cassie over something as trivial as dinner not being ready on time. According to her testimony, eggs were thrown, a skillet swung, and Cassie ended up curled on the floor in a fetal position while Diddy allegedly kicked her repeatedly. Dawn admitted she didn't call the police afterward, she was too scared. The next day, Diddy allegedly warned her, "Stay quiet, or people could go missing." If that wasn't enough to send shivers down your spine, Homeland Security entered the fray. A federal agent testified about raiding Diddy's hotel room, where they discovered bags of baby oil, bottles of Astroglide lubricant, and other items that raised serious questions. The courtroom grew colder still after this revelation. Even Diddy's own daughters left looking pale and shaken, avoiding eye contact with reporters, a reaction that spoke volumes without uttering a single word. And then, in a twist no one saw coming, Will Smith's name surfaced during the proceedings. It wasn't just mentioned casually, it reportedly appeared on one of the tapes. Once the news broke online, chaos erupted. Fans scrambled to revisit old interviews, dissect awkward interactions between Will and Diddy, and quote jokes comedians had made over the years. Comedian Lunel once hinted at a deeper relationship between the two, fueling speculation. Suddenly, everyone was talking about it. Jaguar Wright, known for exposing the industry's darkest secrets, joined the conversation with unfiltered candor. She questioned whether the entertainment business has warped individuals to the point of losing their humanity. Her comments weren't subtle, she named names like August Alsina, Aaliyah's legacy, and even referenced Brahe Gray, suggesting he's desperately trying to claw his way back into the industry's good graces but isn't succeeding. According to her, the system keeps him dangling, using him for optics without truly accepting him. things took another bizarre turn when Meek Mill's name popped up in leaked court audio. Unlike Will, who remained silent, Meek reacted publicly, posting defensive tweets that only drew more attention. Critics pointed out similarities between him and Diddy, his fashion choices, mannerisms, and even memes resurfaced showing Diddy calling Meek daddy at a shirtless birthday bash. When Meek fired back with a tweet saying, "I'm not fruity, stop playing," the internet pounced, armed with evidence, screenshots, and relentless mockery. The saga continues to unfold, growing wilder by the day. Each new detail adds another layer of intrigue, making it clear, this is no ordinary trial. It's a cultural reckoning, exposing the dark underbelly of fame, power, and control. And we're all watching, waiting to see how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you.
Amid all the chaos and headlines surrounding the Diddy trial, what's truly capturing everyone's attention is the secret court audio. No leaks, no footage, just chilling rumors about its contents. Whispers suggest it includes sounds of someone being harmed while Diddy allegedly laughs in the background. The courtroom's strict silence has only fueled speculation. Is it to protect victims, or is the audio so explosive that releasing it could destroy reputations, terminate lucrative deals, spark lawsuits, and drag even more powerful figures into the spotlight? If Will Smith, Diddy, and Meek Mill are just the tip of the iceberg, who else might be entangled in this web? One name that keeps surfacing is Bishop T.D. Jakes, a towering figure in the world of prosperity gospel. For those unfamiliar with him, here's a quick rundown. T.D. Jakes is one of the most influential preachers in the world, known for teaching that Jesus was wealthy and that God desires his followers to achieve financial success. While Jesus walked among the poor and marginalized, Jakes often finds himself mingling with presidents, Hollywood elites, and billionaires. Among his high-profile connections, one stands out, Diddy. Yes, Diddy. Bishop T.D. Jakes and Sean Diddy Combs have shared a public friendship for years, marked by photo ops, handshakes, and mutual admiration. But beneath the surface camaraderie lies a swirl of speculation. Some believe their bond runs deeper than what meets the eye, perhaps involving secrets that never make it to sermons or social media feeds. These whispers aren't new. They gained serious traction over a decade ago when an incident involving Jakes' family made national headlines. In 2009, Jermaine Jakes, the bishop's son, was arrested in Dallas's Kidd Springs Park after approaching undercover vice officers with his pants unzipped. According to police reports, he began masturbating while maintaining direct eye contact with one of the officers. He was promptly detained on charges of indecent exposure but released shortly afterward. The irony was glaring. A preacher renowned for advocating righteousness, self-control, and spiritual enlightenment found himself at the center of a scandal involving his own flesh and blood. It raised uncomfortable questions. What else might lie behind closed doors? Now, let's dive deeper into the connection between Diddy and T.D. Jakes. Their relationship extends far beyond superficial appearances. When Diddy's ex-girlfriend Kim Porter tragically passed away in 2018, he personally requested Bishop Jakes to officiate her funeral. This wasn't a casual ask, it reflected a profound bond. In the aftermath, Jakes posted a heartfelt tribute on Instagram, praising the love Diddy had for Kim and urging others to view such love as a divine blessing. On the surface, it seemed sincere and moving. But dig a little deeper, and cracks begin to show. Following Kim Porter's death, allegations emerged painting a darker picture of her life with Diddy. Reports claimed she endured years of emotional manipulation, control, and even physical abuse. One particularly disturbing allegation stated that Diddy once broke her nose during an altercation. Former bodyguards added fuel to the fire, claiming Diddy treated Kim much like he allegedly treated Cassie, exerting dominance, instilling fear, and inflicting trauma. When Cassie came forward with her lawsuit detailing years of alleged mistreatment, it became clear that Kim may have lived through similar horrors in silence. And if these claims hold water, where does that leave T.D. Jakes? As someone deeply connected to both Diddy and Kim, did he turn a blind eye? Or was he complicit in shielding the truth from public view? The intersection of faith, fame, and power grows murkier with each revelation. With every layer peeled back, the question remains, how many others are caught in this tangled web, and will we ever know the full story?
I didn't know Cassie, but I knew somebody who was going through the same thing she was going through, and that was Kim Porter.
Now,
just like
here's
Diddy
an
was known
important
for
detail to
mentoring his
consider.
favorite
The
young
whispers
artists and
about
staff,
Diddy,
there
the
are
ones
whispers
fueling
that
the
something
current
far more
firestorm,
troubling may have
didn't
gone
just
on behind
materialize
closed
out of
doors
thin
at
air
Will
after
Smith's
the
home.
lawsuits or
Rumors
recent
suggest
headlines.
that Will, much
No, these rumors have been swirling for years. Long before any legal drama
young
or
artists for
police
his own
involvement,
gain, the
people were
speculation
already
becomes
raising
even more
eyebrows at
unsettling
Diddy's
when you consider
larger-than-life
the
lifestyle. He's always been a polarizing figure in the entertainment industry, synonymous with
depression
over-the-top
and addiction,
parties,
all raised
untouchable
red. Years people
and
have seen
wild
Will
stories
openly
that blur
kiss
the line
Jaden on the
between
lips
myth
for
and
extended.
reality. For decades, there have been murmurs about what truly goes on behind closed doors when
Disturbing,
cameras stop
uncomfortable,
rolling and the public eye
and
turns
downright
away.
disgusting.
Despite all this, despite the persistent rumors, the hushed conversations, and the questionable optics,
There have long been whispers surrounding Will Smith's orientation
that's the
and
part
whether
that gives people pause. While others might have distanced themselves from such controversy, Bishop
shown
Jakes
unusual
didn't just stay
affection toward
neutral.
young male
He
stars in the industry.
He
The
accepted
rumors kicked into high
invitations,
gear after
posed
Star
for
magazine
photos, and exchanged warm embraces with Diddy at high-profile events. Whether it was glitzy award shows,
because of another man,
exclusive galas,
actor Dwayne
or
Martin.
deeply personal
Things got
moments
even
with
more
Meek,
intense when Will's former
Jakes
assistant
showed
brother
up,
Bilal,
not reluctantly or hesitantly, but seemingly comfortably. Smiling.
and Will and Dwayne in a compromising situation in a dressing room. I opened the door and saw Dwayne and Will. Well,
Surrounded by so much shadow raises questions. Did he not hear the same whispers everyone else did?
intense. But that's not all. Jaguar Wright also chimed in with some disturbing allegations of her own.
Either way, his presence alongside Diddy sends a message, one that clashes sharply with
Things to
the image of
allegedly take a
righteousness and
darker turn.
accountability many
According to
expect
her,
from a
their own son
spiritual leader of his
Jaden
stature.
witnessed some of these.
It's a dynamic that feels jarring, especially given the growing allegations against Diddy.
Jaguar even went as far as to say that actors like Bashir Gray and rapper Meek Mill had to flee.
It's casting long shadows over those who chose to stay in his orbit, even as the warning signs
He's
flickered
traumatized and desperate to escape.
Happy birthday to you. We love you, man.
That's where eyebrows really begin to rise. When a man of God, a figure who is supposed to
being
embody
mentored by
moral
Will,
clarity and
who was
spiritual
rep-
leadership,
Another
is
individual
consistently
allegedly
seen rubbing
caught
shoulders at events defined more by
other than
excess
Jaden
enlightenment,
Smith's close
it
friend,
raises
August
uncomfortable
Alsina.
questions.
Back in 2020,
What truly
August
happens
dropped a
after
bomb.
midnight at those infamous parties? And why are so many powerful individuals, including prominent preachers,
Knowing
so
about
eager to
it,
be
but
part of that
supposedly
world?
giving his blessing.
Jaguar
That confession
Wright,
alone
known for
sent
her
shockwaves
unfiltered
across the
commentary
internet.
on the entertainment industry's darkest secrets, was once asked why she thinks T.D. Jakes always seems to show up in
Disturbing
Diddy's
picture,
circle.
suggesting that what
Her
was presented
response?
as guidance may have
She
been
didn't
something
hold
much
back.
more damaging.
But for him to be at a Diddy party, I don't know. Like I feel the same way about that as I feel about when Tyler Perry came to his church and laid hands on him and he caught the Holy Spirit from Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry is the bishop of what?
Jaguar Wright didn't just direct her commentary at T.D. Jakes, she also had plenty to say about Will Smith.
He adopted Diddy's
If you're
controversial
unfamiliar with
mentorship
the
style.
whispers that have
One of the most
circulated
talked
for
about
years,
rumors
brace
that
yourself. There are deeply unsettling rumors suggesting that Will Smith's son, Jaden, was
led to
allegedly
Justin's
sold to
alleged
Diddy at a young
exposure
age.
to questionable situations
While these
behind the
claims
scenes.
remain unverified,
Now let's connect the
they've
dots.
lingered in the shadows of public discourse for years. What makes these allegations
It
resonate
wasn't
with
just
some
a
is the
stroke of
behavior
luck.
Will has
Usher and
displayed
Diddy
toward
were
Jaden,
right there,
even in the
orchestra-
public eye. Over the years, viewers have witnessed moments on national
Some observers
television where Will
suggest
openly
there may
kissed
have been
Jaden
hidden
on the lips
costs,
for extended
hinting at a
periods.
loss of innocence traded
To
for fame
some,
and access.
this might be dismissed
What
as an
raises even
expression of fatherly affection. But for many others, it feels inappropriate.
hasn't backed away.
An action
On
that
the
crosses
contrary,
a boundary,
he continues to
leaving
praise
them feeling
Diddy,
disturbed,
publicly calling him the
uneasy,
greatest
and
mentor.
even repulsed. For years, there have been persistent whispers questioning Will Smith's orientation and whether it aligns
Adding
with the
fuel to
squeaky
the
clean,
fire, Jaden Smith
heterosexual
himself
image
has
he
opened up about
cultivated
his
in the
struggles
public
with
eye.
substance.
Some speculate that, much like Diddy, Will has allegedly displayed unusual
Diddy's
affection
infamous
toward
parties.
young male stars
Some
in
sources
Hollywood.
even claim that those
These
gatherings were
rumors reached a fever pitch after Star magazine published a story claiming that Will and his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith.
Now, with everything
had
that's been
split,
coming to light, it's
because
not
of another
far-fetched
woman,
to say that
but
Will
because of
Smith,
another
Meek
man,
Mill, and even
actor
Bishop
Dwayne
T.D.
Martin.
Jakes might.
The situation grew even more intense when Will's former assistant, Brother Bilal, came forward in an interview with
the court
YouTuber Tasha
appearances,
K.
the witness accounts,
He
it
recounted
all
a
spiked
shocking
warm.
incident,
Their own
alleging that he once walked in on Will and Dwayne in a compromising situation inside a dressing room. I opened the door and
familiar
saw
name in that
Dwayne and
crowd.
Will
Joining
being
him
really
was
intimate,
Usher,
he
which
claimed.
raised even more eyebrows.
According to
Fans
Bilal,
who had long
the two were on a couch. Will bent over while Dwayne stood above him in what he described as a highly intense moment.
Considering
But the
Diddy's current
allegations
legal
don't stop
issues
there.
and the rumors swirling around
Jaguar
his
Wright
past
also
behavior.
weighed in, leveling disturbing claims of her own. She alleged that Will and Jada would invite young men into their
And when
home
Usher
under
was
the
later
pretense
asked
of
in an
mentorship,
interview
only
whether
for
he
these
would ever
encounters
allow
to
his
take a
own
darker
children to
turn.
stay in the same kind of
According
environment,
to her, their own son, Jaden, was present during some of these unsettling incidents, experiences she claims left
the
a lasting
revelation didn't
emotional
just stir
impact on
gossip,
him.
it sparked serious
Jaguar went
debates.
even
People
further,
began wondering
accusing
whether
the couple of
mentor
traumatizing some of their so-called ments. She alleged that actors like Brahe Gray and rapper Meek Mill reportedly fled their
as
home
Will and
screaming for
Jada
help,
opened their doors
desperate
to
to
young
escape
artists under the
situations
guise
they
of
found
guidance
deeply
and
distressing. If true, these accounts paint a chilling picture of behavior far removed from the supportive, nurturing
and just how
environment
deep
one
these
might
connections
expect from
and their
such high-profile
consequences truly
figures.
run.
Had in common though, the survivors and the late of Uptown Records, they were all writing tell-all books. Andre was writing a book right before.
Just as Diddy was known for taking young artists and staff under his wing, there are whispers that something far more sinister may have occurred
And
behind
continuously
closed doors
manipulate
at Will
her
Smith's
into
home.
situations she no longer
Rumors
wanted to be
suggest
part
that
of.
Will, much
and
like
just
Diddy,
before
may have crossed the line under the guise of mentorship, allegedly manipulating and threatening young artists for his own
to
benefit.
engage with jurors after
The
he was caught
speculation
nodding
grows
at them
even
during
more unsettling when
cross-examination.
examining
It's
the
as if
story of
even in the
Brahe Gray. His public breakdowns, erratic behavior, and candid admissions about battling
parties
depression and
and,
addiction
in some
have all
cases,
raised
even
serious
praised him
red
publicly.
flags.
Now, considering what
Many
we know,
believe these
that
struggles
association
didn't emerge out of nowhere. They allegedly trace back to his time being mentored by Will, who reportedly showed him an unusual
it's
level
about
of
patterns,
affection during their
repeated
interactions.
patterns of behavior and
These
silence.
claims paint a deeply
strategic
troubling
silence.
picture, suggesting that what was framed as guidance and support may have been something far more damaging. If true,
Jane
it points to a
returned to the
pattern where
witness
mentorship
stand with
becomes a
chilling
veil
new
for
details.
exploitation,
She recounted
leaving
the
those
countless
involved
substance
traumatized and grappling with long-term consequences.
Surrounded by a whole lot of love, and all he has to do is add discipline, and he gonna be all right.
Another individual allegedly ensnared in this tangled web is none other than Jaden Smith's close friend,
starts to paint
August
a very
Alsina.
complicated, very dark picture.
Back in 2020,
These aren't just
August
distant
dropped the
acquaintances
bombshell that
or
sent
people who happen
shockwaves across the internet. He claimed to have been in a romantic relationship with Jada Pinkett Smith in 2016.
photographed at his exclusive, yes, a balcony, for 10 to 15 terrifying seconds. She now suffers
This
from
confession
reoccurring
alone was enough to ignite widespread speculation about the true nature of the Smiths' marriage and the dynamics within their household.
Diddy's former assistant even
But the
accused him of
revelation did more
SA,
than fuel
disturbing
gossip. It
tantrums, and
sparked serious
manipulative
debates. People began questioning whether the mentorship offered by some of Hollywood's most influential figures,
Now still only
including Will and
scratched the
Jada,
surface.
was
Jane
genuinely
revealed that
supportive
even
or
after they broke
potentially
up,
manipulative.
Diddy continued to pay her rent.
Under the
He
guise of
dangled
guidance and family-like warmth, the couple opened their doors to young artists, inviting them
She
into
shared
their
how
inner
she was
circle.
expected to coordinate
Yet,
so-called
for many,
hotel
this
nights
raised
where Diddy would
concerns
bring
about
in
where
male
genuine
escort.
mentorship ended and exploitation began. Their own son, Jaden, found himself entangled in circles connected to none other than
mistreatment
Diddy.
cloaked in glamour,
And
coercion
Jaden wasn't the
disguised
only
as
familiar name
generosity.
in that crowd.
So now as we circle
Joining
back
him
to
was none other than Usher, whose presence reignited old questions about his past ties to Diddy. Fans were
T.D.
quick to
Jakes
recall that
really
Usher was
stand in
just
all of
10
this.
years old when he
Are
moved
they
to
truly
New York
unaware?
to live with Diddy,
Were they just
a decision
unfortunate
that now feels fraught with implications given the current legal issues and allegations surrounding Diddy's behavior.
and before more
Considering
names
the
start
disturbing
surfacing?
rumors
Maybe
swirling
not
around
today,
Diddy, it's
maybe
hard
not
not
tomorrow,
to wonder what
but
Usher
soon.
might have
This trial
experienced or witnessed during those formative years. When Usher was later asked in an interview if he would ever allow his own children to stay in
If
a
these
similar
powerful men
environment,
truly had no
his
part in
response
it,
was immediate
why
and
haven't they spoken
unequivocal.
out? And if they
Absolutely
did,
not.
what would they say?
That answer spoke volumes, leaving many to ponder what truly went on behind closed doors, and just how deep
Like and
these
subscribe.
connections and their
We're
consequences
just getting
run.
started.
It also begs the question, how many others, like Usher, may have been drawn into these worlds under the promise of mentorship, only to emerge carrying scars they'll bear for a lifetime?
To New York City. and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no.
Hell no. Still, many fans remain skeptical about Usher's true role in all of this, especially as whispers persist suggesting he adopted Diddy's controversial mentorship style. One of the most talked about rumors is that Usher allegedly played a key part in introducing Justin Bieber to Diddy, an introduction that some claim exposed Justin to questionable situations behind the scenes. Now, let's connect the dots. When Never Say Never propelled both Jaden Smith and Justin Bieber into global fame, it wasn't just luck, it was orchestrated by none other than Usher and Diddy themselves. On the surface, it seemed like a powerful launchpad for young talent. But beneath the glitz and glamour, some observers suggest there may have been hidden costs, hinting at a loss of innocence traded for fame, access, and proximity to power. What raises even more eyebrows is that despite the mounting allegations surrounding Diddy, Usher hasn't distanced himself. In fact, he continues to publicly praise Diddy, calling him the greatest mentor I've ever had. For some, this might come across as loyalty; for others, it's a glaring red flag, a sign that Usher knows far more than he's letting on, fueling suspicions about his involvement or complicity. Meanwhile, Jaden Smith has opened up about his struggles with substance addiction, issues that reportedly began during the same period he was frequently attending Diddy's infamous parties. Some sources even allege that those gatherings were coordinated not only by Diddy but also by Will Smith, bringing Jaden into that environment at a very young age. Now, with everything coming to light, it's not far-fetched to say that Will Smith, Meek Mill, and even Bishop T.D. Jakes may be more deeply connected to Diddy than anyone initially believed. When you line up the facts, the testimonies, court appearances, witness accounts, it starts to paint a complicated and deeply troubling picture. These aren't distant acquaintances or random figures who happen to run in the same Hollywood circles. No, these are men who have been photographed at Diddy's exclusive parties, praised him publicly, and attended his private events. Considering what we now know, their association feels questionable at best. Let's be clear, this isn't about guilt by association. It's about patterns, repeated patterns of behavior and silence, strategic silence. Because now, the truth is clawing its way to the surface. On June 7th, Diddy's ex-girlfriend, known in court only as Jane, returned to the witness stand with chilling new details. She recounted countless substance-fueled intimate marathons, many of which left her physically and emotionally shattered. Jane testified that Diddy would ignore her pleas to stop, mock her tears, and continuously manipulate her into situations she no longer wanted to be part of. Just before she took the stand, Judge Arun Subramanian had to warn Diddy not to engage with jurors after he was caught nodding at them during cross-examination. It's as if, even in the courtroom, Diddy believes the rules don't apply to him. But it doesn't stop there. Another witness, Brianna Bonagolan, told the court that Diddy once held her over a balcony, yes, a balcony, for 10 to 15 terrifying seconds. She now suffers from recurring night terrors. That testimony alone would have shaken headlines for weeks, but it was just one of many horrifying accounts. Diddy's former assistant accused him of subjecting her to disturbing tantrums and manipulative mistreatment over an 8-year span, claiming he used fear and control to get his way. And yet, somehow, these accounts still only scratch the surface. Jane revealed that even after they broke up, Diddy continued to pay her rent, dangling luxuries like dental work, expensive trips, and private homes as bargaining chips. She shared how she was expected to coordinate so-called hotel nights, where Diddy would bring in male sex workers. Sometimes he hinted at it with code words, other times, she said, it was simply expected. It's a shocking cycle, mistreatment cloaked in glamour, coercion disguised as generosity. So now, as we circle back to the question everyone's whispering, but few are brave enough to ask out loud, where do Will Smith, Meek Mill, and Bishop T.D. Jakes really stand in all of this? Are they truly unaware? Were they just unfortunate to be in the same room, or is there more lurking behind those private gatherings and secret meetings? It's only a matter of time before more names start surfacing, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon. This trial isn't just about Diddy, it's about the culture of silence that allowed all of this to go on for so long. So here's the question, if these powerful men truly had no part in it, Why haven't they spoken out? And if they did, what would they say? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you want to stay updated as this story continues to unfold, don't forget to like and subscribe. We're just getting started.